4.5 billion years ago, there was no blue sky, no oceans, no life, just darkness and the silent drift of cosmic dust. But from that silence, something extraordinary was about to begin. Something violent, something beautiful, something that would one day become home. Pause for a moment and imagine this. Every breath you take, every drop of water you've ever touched, every mountain you've ever seen, it all traces back to a single moment when the universe decided to build a planet. This is the story of how Earth was born. Before Earth existed, the solar system was nothing but a swirling storm, a cosmic cloud made of gas, dust, and the broken remains of ancient stars. It spun slowly at first, like a ghost of something yet to come. Then gravity stepped in quiet, invisible, unstoppable. It pulled that dust together, tighter and tighter, until the cloud flattened into a giant spinning disk around the young sun. At the center of that disk, temperatures soared, millions of degrees, so hot that metals melted and rocks vaporized. This was the furnace of creation. Farther out, small grains of dust began sticking together, harmless at first, like soft snowflakes drifting into piles. But soon, these tiny grains grew into larger clumps, larger chunks, and eventually monstrous bodies called planetesimas. They collided at terrifying speeds. Some shattered, some fused, and every impact sent shockwaves across the newborn solar system. These collisions were the heartbeat of a world trying to be born. Earth takes shape. One of those growing worlds was our future Earth. It was nothing more than a ball of rock and metal, rough, uneven, and glowing with heat from constant impacts. Think of it as a cosmic construction site, molten rivers of lava, mountains rising and falling within minutes, the surface shifting like a living thing, but with no life at all. Every collision made Earth bigger, and every impact made it hotter. The young planet was so warm that heavy metals, iron and nickel melted and sank, forming Earth's core. Lighter minerals floated upward, becoming the crust in this chaos. The blueprint of our planet was forming, but the most dramatic event was still to come, the moon's violent beginning. Around this time, Earth wasn't alone. Another world, about the size of Mars, drifted dangerously close. Scientists call it they, but names don't do justice to what happened next. They slammed into Earth with unimaginable force. It wasn't a gentle brush. It wasn't even a simple collision. It was a world-ending impact that nearly tore Earth apart. Rock and metal exploded into space. Lava sprayed into orbit. For a moment, Earth looked less like a planet and more like a fiery wound in the dark. But from that destruction came something unexpected. Some of the ejected material fell back to Earth, but a portion stayed in orbit, slowly gathering, shaping, cooling. And from that swirling ring of debris, our moon was born, a companion, a stabilizer, a silent witness to everything Earth would ever become. In a strange way, Earth needed that disaster. Without the moon, life might never have found its balance. A hellish world, the Earth that emerged after the impact wasn't the Earth we know. It was a world of fire. Oceans of lava stretched across the surface. Volcanoes erupted non-stop, shooting toxic gases into the sky. The air was thick with carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor. Each breath flung had existed would have been death. Lightning split the sky again and again. Ash drifted through the air like black snow. The planet glowed red, like a coal that refused to cool. But beneath all this chaos, something incredible was happening. The atmosphere, Earth's first shield, was starting to form. Every volcanic eruption released more gas. Every cooling rock trapped heat differently. Slowly, painfully, the planet's surface began to change. And then, Earth started to cool. Not quickly, not gently, but enough for something miraculous. The first oceans, as the world cooled, the water vapor in the atmosphere condensed. Clouds formed thick, gray, heavy. For the first time in Earth's history, it rained, and it didn't stop raining for thousands of years. Imagine storms, so powerful the ocean fell from the sky in sheets of pure force. Thunder that shook the ground, lightning that carved scars into rock. These rains filled the deepest basins, creating the first oceans, vast, dark, and warm, stretching across a world still learning how to breathe. The oceans absorbed carbon dioxide, calming the violent atmosphere. They cooled the crust, allowing land to harden, and they created the perfect cradle, a place where life would someday take its first breath. But at this moment in history, Earth was still alone. No plants, no animals, no sound but the wind and the endless crash of rain on newborn seas. A world waiting for life after millions of years. The storms eased. The skies slowly cleared, revealing a dim sun through the haze. Earth's surface had transformed from a molten nightmare to a world divided by rock and water, but it still wasn't peaceful. The young planet churned with energy. Meteorites still struck. Volcanoes still erupted. Continents shifted. Seafloors tore open and rebuilt themselves. Yet, for the first time, Earth had stability. A solid crust, a protective atmosphere, a cooling core that created a magnetic field shielding the surface from deadly radiation. The planet wasn't just surviving anymore. It was preparing. Every drop of water, every storm, every volcanic eruption had created the ingredients for life. Something microscopic, something fragile, something that would one day split into endless branches of evolution. Earth had become more than a world of rock and fire. It had become a world of potential, reflective ending. When we look at Earth today's oceans, forests, mountains, and creatures, it's easy to forget how it came. It's easy to forget the violence, the destruction, and the luck that made it possible. Our planet wasn't gifted to us. It was forged piece by piece through chaos. Every sunset, every raindrop, every breath you take, all of it began with a swirl of dust and a world brave enough to survive its own birth. And this is only the beginning. Because once Earth cooled, once the oceans formed, something extraordinary was waiting just beneath the surface. Life is the next chapter.